Welcome to this explainer. Today, we are decoding the hidden strategies behind a name that is quite literally synonymous with unimaginable wealth. We're talking about John D. Rockefeller. But we aren't just looking at what the world's first billionaire achieved. Oh no, we're going to examine the deeply contrarian mindset that actually got him there. So let's jump right in. $1 billion. To truly wrap our heads around his unprecedented success, we really have to start with this monumental milestone. Think about it. We're talking about a net worth that no single individual in human history had ever reached before. So the question is, how does someone even begin to amass an empire of that sheer scale? That brings us to Section 1, a mindset for growth. Now, growing up in the 1860s, Rockefeller didn't have any inherited wealth to his name, but he did possess a deeply contrarian mindset right from childhood. While the masses were focused purely on consumption, figuring out what they could buy next, Rockefeller was doing something entirely different. He was meticulously tracking every single penny in his famous little red ledger book of his. He was absolutely obsessed with the math of growth and multiplication, just completely ignoring that everyday urge the rest of us have to simply spend. Moving on to Section 2, the hidden opportunity. So how did he apply this highly calculated mindset to the defining economic event of his era? Well, when oil was discovered in America in the 1860s, it triggered an absolute frenzy. It was your classic gold rush mentality. People were blindly racing into the industry, completely desperate to drill and strike it rich overnight. It was driven by this massive, chaotic herd mentality. But here's where things get really interesting. While the herd was totally consumed by the unpredictable, incredibly risky gamble of drilling for crude oil, Rockefeller just paused. He stepped back. He realized the real sustainable profit wasn't in pulling the oil out of the ground. Actually, scratch that. It was in refining that raw oil and selling the final usable product. He essentially let everyone else take the massive risks of extraction while he swooped in to secure the guaranteed demand for the finished, clean good. Pretty brilliant, right? This leads us to Section 3, the billion-dollar empire. Because, you see, recognizing a hidden opportunity is really just the first step. Actually executing it required a ruthless, highly systematic formula. He started out pretty simply by investing in a small refinery, but that obsessive mindset of his quickly took over. He worked day and night to slash any unnecessary costs, continuously optimized literally every single process to peak efficiency, and then aggressively scaled the whole operation up. And then he just put that cycle on repeat. Through this meticulous strategy, his operation didn't just grow. It evolved into Standard Oil, which became the absolute largest oil company in America. Riding this massive wave of global demand, he eventually gained immense influence, controlling roughly 90% of the nation's entire oil trade. Let that sink in for a second. 90%. That incredible volume and hyper-efficiency is exactly what skyrocketed his wealth to historic billionaire status. Which brings us to Section 4, Beyond the Wealth. But the story of this immense wealth doesn't just end with business dominance and massive market share. In his later years, Rockefeller completely redirected that intense focus of his. He didn't just hoard his fortune, he donated a massive portion of it to give back. We're talking funding schools, financing hospitals, and actively supporting widespread social initiatives. He completely shifted his impact from being purely industrial to deeply societal. And finally, Section 5, the ultimate lesson. So, what is the absolutely crucial takeaway for us here? It's that extreme success doesn't come from following the herd. Rockefeller didn't become history's first billionaire simply because he saw an opportunity. He succeeded because he saw the opportunity everyone else completely missed. While the masses were obsessing over drilling, he was refining. As our source material reminds us perfectly, opportunities are visible to everyone, but those who recognize and act on them make history. The oil boom was visible to the entire country. Everyone saw it, but history is written by those who recognize a trend's true hidden potential and actually execute a calculated system against it. Which leaves us with one final provocative question. Look around at our modern industries today, our new technologies, the current market frenzies. What hidden opportunity is the crowd missing right now? What is everyone rushing to drill, and how can you be the one to refine it? Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer, and remember to always keep thinking differently.